When I landed in Australia in 1975, I thought the hard part was over. I'd survived the flight, survived the culture shock at the airport, survived that first strange, quiet moment of realizing I was actually here. What I didn't know yet was that leaving home doesn't happen just once. For me, it happened again and again in ways nobody warned me about. So these are the 5 things I wish someone had told me before I moved to Australia. Because if you're going through any of this yourself right now, I want you to know it's not just you. The first thing is the homesickness. Not the kind you get over in a few weeks, the kind that catches you off guard months later, missing your parents, missing your friends, missing people whose voices you used to hear every single day and now only heard down a crackling phone line, if at all. In Agra, family wasn't something you visited on weekends. It was woven into every single day, and suddenly it wasn't. The second thing is something so small I never expected it to hurt the way it did. Food. Even the simplest things, rice and dal, the food I'd grown up eating every day of my life, just didn't taste the same here. I couldn't tell you exactly what was missing, but something always was. It's strange how much comfort you don't realize is tied up in a plate of food until you're sitting in front of a version of it that isn't quite right. The third thing is smaller again, but it stung in its own way: money, or the lack of it. I remember the girls I knew going out shopping together, buying new things, and I simply couldn't. There wasn't the money for it. Nobody tells you that migrating isn't just an emotional adjustment, it's a financial one too. And sometimes the hardest part isn't the big dramatic loss, it's the small, ordinary moments you get quietly left out of. The fourth thing changed everything, and I didn't see it coming. After I'd settled, or thought I had, I moved interstate to be with my husband's family, 10 hours away from the life I just started to build in Australia. That was its own kind of leaving home all over again. All up, that lonely stretch lasted about 7 years. I was working in a factory by then, and most of what I earned I saved and sent back home to my family in India. I remember converting Australian dollars into rupees just to see what things really cost, and it shocked me every time. I never once bought myself a McDonald's meal in all those years because when I did the math, that single meal back home could have fed my family 5 times over. So I didn't buy it. I saved it instead. And the fifth thing is what finally pulled me out of it. It was after years like that, working, saving, being far from everyone I loved, that I went back to study. In India, as a girl, I wasn't allowed to work. That simply wasn't an option that existed for me. But in Australia, I could. So I trained in beauty therapy, and I remember how shy and withdrawn I was walking into that classroom. It was the other Australian girls there who kept telling me I could do it, encouraging me when I doubted myself. That's what broke the loneliness. Not time, not distance. It was stepping into something that gave me a purpose of my own, in a country that actually let me have one. Looking back now, I think that's the part people don't expect about migration stories like mine. It's not one clean before and after. It's loss, and then more loss you didn't see coming. And somewhere in the middle of it, if you're lucky, something opens up that never could have opened for you back home. For me, that was study. That was the freedom to build a future I simply wasn't allowed to build in India. If any part of this felt familiar to you, the homesickness, the loneliness, the feeling of starting over more than once, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you haven't seen the trip that changed everything for me in those early years, I'll leave that video right here.